Hello, my Star Atlas people. It's me, MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back again. We're going to be talking Star Atlas for the next 20 to 30 minutes. I know, the time always flies whenever we're talking about Star Atlas. So what are the big things? As always, I try to make a video when I think there's something you need to know out there. I try to keep a weekly schedule. I haven't done a video in a week and a half or so, only because there hasn't been much. But now there has been a lot that has actually come out, so I thought I should do a video and talk about the new changes. So the two big new changes we're going to learn about are the fleet rental system, as well as the addendum to the Star Atlas locker, which are both really kind of game-changing for most people, I would say. At least the fleet rental system, that is the biggest change you're going to see. So yeah, first off, let's say a big thank you to Siggy, who I saw this post this video on the Star Atlas Twitter, as well as on his Twitter feed. My God, still beautiful. I feel like I'm not doing the job I can as a content creator for Star Atlas by recording some of these videos. It's just that my computer actually isn't powerful enough. So I'm thinking maybe I should make that as a content. Like I should use the money I'm earning from Star Atlas to be able to go and buy a computer, maybe through donations as well. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, enough fluffing. Let's go and talk about the changes that are coming in the Star Atlas metaverse. So first off, let's look at the addendum to the Star Atlas locker enhancements. So I've got the document here. It's like a whole 12-page document. I'm not going to go through a whole thing. I'm just going to show you the important stuff because, as always, I try and keep things very succinct for you guys. So here's the benefit for you. What's the executive summary? We're not going to read the whole thing, but basically there are 5 tiers in the Polis locker. They're going to be moving it to 7 tiers, and this is the important thing. I want you to listen to this, okay? So here, this document highlights the value of 10 upcoming features in the 7 new tiers that will be potentially added to the Star Atlas locker protocol. So I want you to keep in mind, these are going to be potentially added. As everything with Star Atlas and the Automata team, yes, they make some plans, but we've seen the track record. Excuse me there. I should probably cut that out. We've seen their track record where they kind of let things go and they can't continue through a certain pathway just because it's not viable anymore. So let's go ahead and see some definitions. We don't need that. That's okay. Updated locker tier structure, 5 to 7. There's 2 new tiers that have been added to the locker, are highlighted in the chart below. So basically, let's have a look here. These are the fee structures we had before. We had 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Now we have a locker tier 1. Basically, this is like such an entry level. Everyone should be able to do this. I'm going to tell you why, because of the minimum fee rebates that you're going to get in Solana. So if Solana fees, if you're doing absolutely anything in Sage, you need to have at least $1,000 locked. And you know why? Because I'm gonna break it down here in the Star Atlas calculator in the CoinGecko. You're gonna see $1,000 Atlas is only $1.73. That's not even $2. Okay, $1.75. That's absolutely nothing. And that is going to actually rebate you all the Solana fees. That's actually incredible value for anyone who's a locker tier 1. Okay. Now, right now, all the minimum people, I think is about 85% of people are actually tier 2 locked. So 10,000 Atlas, which is, let's go and see, it's $17. Okay, that makes sense. You add an extra 0. Okay. But then we go to locker 70,000. Now it actually starts getting very competitive. So that's $121 to get some extra features and extra stuff that, not features per se, but extra benefits right now, which I don't think are actually worth it. I think for $120, you can go and get a mining ship or buy a few crafters to actually make more money than what the Atlas is giving, than what the locker is giving you. So those are, and oh man, like you come up to here, 5 million Atlas, 22 million Atlas? Absolutely not. You're much better off going to buy a capital ship with this money and actually earning something, or even buying a Titan ship with this, not Titan actually, a capital class ship or a commander class ship, and then earning from that. Okay, you can go and buy a tree arrow easily instead of this, because nah, no way. The economics doesn't make sense at this level. It's only at the lower levels where you actually do get that greater benefit. But let's go talk about the benefits. What are you going to be getting? So the crafting fee discounts are going to be coming. If you're a tier 1, which is 1,000 Atlas, which is only $1.75, you're going to get no discounts at all. But from now, 85% of the people who are at least 10,000 locked Atlas are going to get 10% discount. Now that's actually pretty good. I think that's really good. Now, of course, the whales, because they've locked so much more, they're going to get the higher percentages. A 22% discount fees, that's very good. A 15% discount fee is amazing. So I actually don't think it's value-wise, just talking about the crafting fees, to lock $17 versus like $300 to get an extra 5% in crafting fee reduction. Absolutely not. Okay, you can use that money like upfront elsewhere to actually earn more currently rather than locking it in for the future. But that's just my general thought. Okay, you can do the math and you see how long it actually take you to recoup all of that money. The next thing is reduced spawn time. So of course we don't have combat yet, which are coming with the 4Cs later. But of course, when you have combat, your ships are going to die, they're going to respawn, and then you're going to have to go and collect them back again, like at the CSS, for example. So respawn time reduction is going to be 30%, which is actually pretty good. And look at this, you go all the way up to tier 7, a 50% reduction. I still think the 30% is the best reward at the moment. You're only locking $17 to be able to get a 30% reduction. That's the biggest return. Everything else is just minor incremental returns. So no, not for me. Now, the next thing we're actually going to talk about is an NPC merchant reputation. And just like in any other game, reputation, like it gives you how much leeway you can haggle to buy things cheaper or sell things more expensive. And that's what they say here. For example, a user might be able to sell Sage infrastructure contracts to an NPC for a 10% higher price than they would if they weren't participating in the locker. So that's actually very powerful. The infrastructure contracts are fixed prices, okay? So if you work out your economics of scale well enough, like you can make a shit ton more, way more than the next person. But I want to tell you something. Some of this stuff, I think this is the part that's like high possibility of not making it, because they actually don't give any specifics on this, okay? So a user must be at least tier 1 to unlock to begin the benefit from this perk. Other gameplay related requirements may apply for certain pricing perks. Perk schedules are not displayed because they change depending on availability. Yeah, it tells me the team hasn't actually finalized this. So for me, this is like a maybe actually going to happen. Next thing is recipe access. We're up to number 5 now, okay? So all it is, for example, a more efficient fuel recipe than the recipe currently available. Sure. We don't actually know what it is. We don't know if it's going to be economically viable. We don't actually know, okay? And here's another one. An exclusive recipe could be a cosmetic item like a poster or a ship skin that is only available to those actively engaged with the Atlas locker. Okay, yes, sounds good. Cosmetic stuff is really nice, but we actually have to be able to use the cosmetic stuff. And like, not throwing shade at the team, but like, we've got a whole bunch of cosmetics in the game that we can't use. Right? I've got so many next level DS suits. I want to wear them. I want to see them, but I can't. There's no benefits attached to them. Like, they're not anywhere near coming into the game. Like, so is this really a good thing? Like right now? Maybe later. Sure. Maybe we can craft stuff now, but really, let's be honest. Now, this is actually pretty interesting. So there's going to be, for number 6, a virtual assistant improvement. Ooh. This feature allows users to gain access to a staratlas virtual assistant AI. This assistant will provide the user with help managing their fleets and operations such as mining, crafting, other future gameplay releases. More details on the staratlas virtual AI will be released in the future. That tells me it doesn't exist yet. It's going to come later, 4 to 6. I'm not holding my breath for this. I'm just being honest, guys, okay? You know me long enough that I'm just honest. Now, the next thing is the biggest thing I would actually say is the fee subsidy. Now, this is where it gets a bit crazy. So basically, whenever you send your transactions, you are actually using Solana, the blockchain, and you have to pay Solana fees. And of course, this locker feature allows users to have some or all of this fee subsidized by the staratlas DAO, alleviating the burden of network fees on day-to-day gameplay operations. This has been one of the biggest pain points, especially when Solana gets really congested and you have to use more in fees. But I'm going to show you why this makes total sense for me, okay? So for a tier 1, okay, you're only locking $1.75. You are only locking $1.75. Let me go and show you how much you're going to get back by locking $1.75. Okay, let's go to Solana, and I want to show you here. Okay, look at this. It's per user per day. So every day, if you use this much, you're going to get it back. 0.001 Solana. Okay, I'm going to show you how much that is. 0.001 Solana. If you lock $1.75, every day you can recoup up to 19 cents back. Okay, let me do that quick math for you. Quick math. Just some quick paper back of the napkin math. Okay, let's bring it. Where is it? I'm on my calculator. Oh, it's not coming up. Okay, so let's do 1.75 divided by 0.19 is 9.2. So in 9 days, you're actually going to get back all of the atlas that you used in already in 9 days, not to mention the entire year. So do you see how powerful that is? That's crazy. Then you go to tier 2, you're going to get 0.002, tier 3 that. But for me, that is the killer. That's going to help absolutely every small player. That's going to really eradicate Solana fees for every new player. That's what I think is incredible about this, amazing about this. My God, I can't get over it. Right, so that's the Solana transaction fees. And then there's a resource requirement reduction. This is also pretty powerful. So for example, users spend some portion of their Atlas earnings from ships on in-game resources commonly referred to as R4. These resources keep the ship running and meddling Atlas. By increasing locker status, users will have the ability to decrease the amount of R4 that their ships consume. Now, I'm pretty sure this is actually in score only rather than in Sage. Now, does that actually say that? Yeah, no, it doesn't actually say it's in score, but I firmly believe this is score because they're actually saying it's for passive players and passive gameplay loops, where you know my stance. I think they need to actually axe the entire passive loop, but they actually can't now. You know why they can't? Because a whole bunch of whales still have a lot of ships in score, and if they actually nuke it, they're gonna come into the economy now, and they're gonna mine and dump absolutely everything. Because you know why? The team sold a whole bunch of ships with really high capacity, okay? All the initial ships they sold, man, a lot of them are still in score right now. So, let's go to resource reduction. Tier 1, you're going to get no resource reduction. Tier 2, where we all are now, 10%. That's not bad. Tier 3, 20%. So you're up. This is a really good incremental increase. It's a whole 10% increase. Then you go to 15%. Then you go to another 15. Then you go to 5 and then 5. So it's not as important up here. I don't think we'll have many people at 7, a locker 7 reduction. And then the last thing is ship lending liquidity. So basically, let's go. Token earnings from ship rentals made in this way will be distributed back to locker participants according to their locking tier. And ship locking / ship rentals is the next big thing I want to talk to you about. So that's going to come later. So for example, if a user locks on day 1, they will not receive any fee distribution for day 1. Their first split will come out of end of day 2. Suppose they unlock halfway through day 4, they will have received tokens for day 3 and nothing on day 4. So some stuff there, some extra stuff just to keep it going a bit. Fleet rental fee discount. You get a fee discount as well. 5% is where most people will sit, and then you get a 10%. But the thing is, it's not going to be very lucrative for the people renting the ships. It's going to be for the people renting out their ships. I think that's going to be the lucrative part, because when you rent a ship, you have to be able to go and make money with that, and then you have to make a margin on top of that to be able to make anything. And it's only for people who for me, for example, I need to haul a shitload of cargo right now. So I'm only going to rent a ship for 2 days, warp them all over the place, get everything I need, and then bring the ship back. Okay? And that's, it's going to cost me a bit of money, but it'll cost me less money and I'll be able to do everything I need right now. Anyway, maybe I'm talking too much. And then skill tree. So progressive cross-pollination. The skill tree is still nowhere to be found, my friends. So the Atlas will eventually evolve into the equivalent of a skill tree. This initial conceptualization of the design consists of 3 independent contributing factors towards a point system that can be applied across different modules. So progression plus pollination, locker tier perks, community building investment. We are so far from this, I don't even want to read it. I'm going to be honest with you. But what I want to show you is the entire table. So most people are currently here at the 10,000 mark. Okay, you're going to get a 0.002 Solana return back, and how much is that? That's going to be nearly 40 cents return a day. 40 cents a day. And if you go and see your Sly tool now, see how much your actual average is per day, I'm pretty sure you're going to recoup that immediately. You're not using 0.002, at least when we're not so full, like in Solana transactions. Now, we're at the 14-minute mark, so my God, I'm sorry it took so long. Let's go ahead and see a 2-minute video. Now, this has been these are the renders that are going into the fleet command in the UE5 how do I say UE5 game? Is that what it is? Yeah. So we've got a whole bunch of ships, even small Calico, Max Hog, going all the way up to the biggest ones, and you can see the actual size comparison of these ships. Now, it's such a shame the team already used resources for the play canvas and they're going away from that. Now they're coming into UE5. It just seems like wasted time, you know? Time we didn't really have. Now, I think that's a tank ship, if I'm not sure, and that is a giant ass tree arrow. Look at that tree. No, that's a bombarella. That's a tree arrow. Look at that. Is that the tree arrow, or is that actually the Titan? No, I don't think it's the Titan. Oh, maybe that's the tree arrow. Sorry, that's the tree arrow. That's the Ogrica Nirich, and that's a Unibomber. It's so small in comparison, isn't it? An Ogrica Mick, a Sumpar. You can see the Sumpar. That's a Ruch. That's a Ruch right there. Yeah, bring it up, my friend. Bring it up. That's the Ogrica Sumpar. That's the Thripid, the Bitboat, the Rayfam, C9, C11. I'm not sure exactly on what they are. We have the R6, and then and then look at this beast. Look at this beast! Oh my God! Did you see that? So that is the T1, is the Titan, is the PS Titan. But look at this big beast next to it. That's huge! I can't believe how big it is. That, my friends, is the Rainbow Fee. So right now we're looking at the Ark, like just a few small ships. That's a Rainbow Ark, Rainbow series. You see the Rainbow Chi, and then you see the Rainbow Ohm, and then that's the Ark next to it. But my God, look at the Fee, Rainbow Fee. Holy crap, that's huge. You couldn't even zoom out so you could see. That's incredible. I saw these and I'm like, oh my God, the ship. It's good to see this. Now, imagine when you're in UE5 and you just see the Fee like dominating half of the map, moving from left to right, and it's so damn slow. You're going to be a walking target, my friends. Everyone's going to know, everyone's going to come after you. So you better watch out. Now, the next thing, let's talk about fleet rentals. This is coming. This was just announced a day ago. We have until actually March the 5th when this launches. So it's going to be really good. So let's dive a little bit into it, my friends. So there's a whole bunch of fluff first. The fleet rental program is coming. It's coming on the March 5th. Let me go and put on my highlighter so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Seamless, secure, fully automated. Ooh, I like that. Automation. That's how it works. Now, there's a whole lot of fluff, but basically it is on-chain, so there's nothing that's going to be off-chain, so I like that a lot. The fleet rental program, let's keep going. Mining moguls, build your mineral empire. I don't want to read the entire thing, but they're saying, yes, you can go and, you know, instead of buying this for $4,500, you can go and actually rent them, for example, and then go and use that to mine your stuff and then return it when you need it. So this is for people who need like ad hoc, like, you know, mining power, ad hoc cargo power, or ad hoc passenger transport power. You know, you don't actually have to buy all of them, because they're unlocking a lot of the utility, unused utility in the economy to actually make it much more efficient. Okay, so now let's keep going. How to leverage galactic trade network. I want the actual stuff. Where's actually? I thought there was a combat mechanics later this year. Yeah, maybe next year. We'll see. Where is it? Here. Here's the system. Let's read it. Once the system is live on March 5th, we will share the link to the fleet rental page. So this will be a separate page, not Sage itself. Okay, it'll be a separate page. Like, think about like the I hope it's similar to the marketplace page, right? But later they will integrate the marketplace into Sage, because now you can access the Galactic Marketplace in Sage itself. Players will be able to search the available fleet inventory for fleets that fit their needs. Once you have found the right fleet, right-click on the Rent button. This will prompt you to pay the rental deposit, and then the fleet will be immediately assigned to you on Sage. So you, of course, need a deposit to go and take this fleet. On a separate note, if you do not already have consumable resources in the game, food, fuel, ammunition, toolkits, you should search for fleets that possess a balance of these items that they will be needed needed to operate in Galea. So basically, the way I imagine it working, my friends, is that I say I have a fleet of 36 Calico Max hogs, or 34, whatever the max is. So basically, I'm going to load that with, I'm going to have to create a fleet of it first. So I'm going to load it with crew. The crew needed to actually, operate the thing. You can actually load it with fuel, load it with ammunition, load it with anything else in the cargo slot, and then put that up for rent. Whoever goes to rent that is going to see all of the things, attributes of this actual ship, of this fleet. They'll be like, oh, this one's got like 10,000 fuel in there. I'm going to take that. Thank you very much. So, of course, I'm going to put that up, and it's going to have this in there, or it's going to be completely empty. And I want you, and I think that's how everyone's going to do it. You're actually just going to remove all of your own resources and put up empty fleets, because people have their own purposes for things. There's no point putting something in the cargo for them to go and rent it. Makes no sense. And then the next thing I think you really have to focus on is what they said here later, is that you actually have to put your fleets in the position you want them to rent it. Okay, so for example, if you're in the medium risk zone, you're going to put your fleets to be rented in the medium risk zone, as opposed to renting it at the CSS. A lot of people will be at the CSS because that's where a lot of the depositing and coming out, in and out is from. But yeah, you got to be really mindful. So let's go and read a bit more as to what they're saying. Our system allows you to cancel the rental contract at any time, and you get refunded for unused time. So I think it's the deposit is based on the rental time that you're taking, not for whatever you do with them. So you can be as rough with them as you want. So if you did not like your fleet you rented, or simply won't be able to play during that period, you can just cancel the contract on the fleet rental page and get a refund for the unused rental period. Now, I'm actually hoping they break this down. There should be a fee structure, okay? So there is the initial upfront rent, okay, which is like a fixed price. And then just like you rent a car, okay, there's a fixed price when you rent the car, and then you pay, for example, per mileage, or you pay per time unit of how many epochs has actually passed since you returned the fleet. So people will game the system a bit, return it in the same epoch, whatever, doesn't matter. You count it by hours, doesn't matter. Or you count it by Solana slot times, okay? You will also not have to worry about returning a fleet. If the time expires on your deposited value cannot cover the rent contract, the fleet possession will be automatically returned to the owner. Now, that could be actually abused. Let's say I use everything, I take out, I can't take out the crew, I can't take out all of the stuff. But if the time is over and you can't keep going, the fleet just reverts to the original owner. Does that mean everything in there is kind of like forfeited? I don't know. We're going to have to see how they work out these small little details in there, because it's really important actually. Like if you get a giant ass fleet and you're halfway through hauling one of the most important resources that in your entire economy, right? And then you forget that the time has run out. Oh my God, you just lost like how much stuff in your fleet, like to the owner, back to the owner. Do you get what I mean? It's very, very significant. We got to really talk about, see how this actually works. So yeah, Sage website. It's going to be on 5th of March, fleet rental page, fleet rental rate, and choose your fleet rental rate, how much you charge for the entire rental. Then assign the duration of the rental contract. The interface is super intuitive, and we are preparing a tutorial video for the release day later this month. Ooh, I'm going to do one too. Don't worry, I'm going to do one too. I'm going to put up some stuff for you to rent, okay? So of course you maintain underlying ownership of your fleets at all time. I think this uses a lot of the account structure of Solana, where you can say I can create this new account, but you can't change anything about this account. Okay, you can't input new things or take things out of this account, but this account is owned by me. You can use my account, but it's owned by me, and that's basically how I think the fleet rental system works. Yeah, you see, a renter can only use your fleet within the limits of Sage. Even then, the renter is limited to in-game activities such as mining, searching SDUs, hauling cargo. They cannot disband, they cannot access crew members, or withdraw those assets from the game. Makes total sense. Makes total sense. Otherwise, it's completely broken. Now, let's keep going. So it's all automated, right? This way, our system ensures that the ship owners receive their payments with minimal efforts, are not at risk of security breaches, and enjoy full control over their fleet's pricing and availability. I think this is going to be, there's going to be some kind of baseline, okay? So I think how it's going to work is your fleets will only go up for rent if you're not actually using them. Who's not actually using all of their fleets right now? I know a lot of the people in Score won't want will probably come into Sage and start renting their fleets because it's probably better return than score. They just don't want to be bothered doing all of the mining stuff. But I think if you have a fleet already, you're doing something with it. Even if they're just fighters, you're mining something with it, and it's actually creating value for you. So the question is, like, it's just like putting something on marketplace. You're losing something by not using it immediately. Why aren't you using it? The barrier is so low. So there's a baseline you have to actually say, oh, well, I'm losing this by having it rented. So is the return actually worth the time or the effort or like, I don't know what I'm saying, but like there's a base fee, okay, that you have to compensate yourself because it's the opportunity cost. That's what I think I mean. It's the opportunity cost. So of course they're saying some stuff here. Design attractive fleets. Try to have clear fleet configurations, such as keeping all ships within a specific specialization, mining, fighters, freighters, etc. I'm pretty sure there will be like fleets that are 36 max hogs or the 34 max hogs limit because they're great for passenger transfer. They're great for low scale, low scale freighting because they're really good freights at the moment. Dock your fleet in a relevant location, okay, because you can actually rent them from. No one wants to rent a fleet stranded in the middle of nowhere. You go in the middle of the Galea, you're not going to rent a fleet there, especially if it has minimal cargo to get back to the closest starbase. No, that makes no sense at all, okay? Use data tools to support your decision. Use Aphia dashboard and EVI operations. And save the date for March 5th. Amazing, amazing. So when the time comes, we're very close. We're only like 15 days from March 5th or something. So it's going to be really cool when it actually comes out. Very, very happy with this. Now, while I know I probably glossed over this a lot and there's a lot more ramifications for it, I am still really excited for it. I just like to actually have it so I can make a video so I can show you how it works, go to the website, because otherwise I'm just reading off this paper and I don't quite like doing that, to be honest. It's not great content in my opinion. So let's go show you what I've been up to in Sage, my friends. I told you I'm going to be a bit more transparent. So now's the time where I want you to talk to me in the chat. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how to be more efficient. So my whole strategy right now, okay, I used to be a hydrogen miner, okay? I started the CSS, I stopped that because it wasn't a profitable enough. Then I went to MRZ, I think 20 or 21 in Oni. I'm Oni, by the way, but I secretly am Ooster. Don't worry, that's a secret. Then I started mining hydrogen richness 2. And I was like, oh, still not good enough. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I need to start freighting more because I want to use all of my freighting ships in my miners because of the reduced transaction costs. So because of the cargo, you know. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to create a full fleet of 36 Calico Max Hogs or 34, 36 Calico Max Hogs. I don't know which one it is. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to mine all of this stuff and then I'm going to go and create the Max Hogs. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm creating I'm trying to create a freighting fleet, but I don't have the freighting capacity to take all of this stuff to go and craft it. You see my problem? So if I had a rental system, I could have rented the freights to go and do what I need to right now to create my own freighting fleet. So I hope that makes sense. It's a bit crazy. Sorry, guys. So basically right now, what am I doing? All of my miners are mining titanium because I needed something. Listen to me. I needed something that was really long duration in mine. So I needed a really high hardness, but also the mineral was actually very, expensive, so I could actually turn a profit. So right now I'm making about nearly $9, $5.77 and $4.75 mining titanium, and they're all 145 fleets. Okay, they're all maximum fleets. That's where I'm going right now. And my rationale at the moment is I can actually make more money just mining this titanium, selling that titanium, and then buying all of the other resources I need to create my crafting fleet. Because even if I go and take this fleet and go and mine carbon and copper and aluminite and, you know, whatever, rochanol, and go and mine all these, freighting it back is so damn difficult. It makes just much more sense for me to go and mine this titanium, okay, sell it, and then just go and buy the stuff at the CSS where I'm going to craft my max hogs. That just makes sense to me. So right now, that's what I'm doing, okay? These are my fleets. I'm going to show you here. These are my operations. So this is my fleet overview. I have one large miner. a medium miner. Okay, I'm going to show you everything in there. So you can pause, you can tell me what I'm doing wrong, how best to classify these. But basically I have one, one PSR8 and one Rainbow Arc. That is my transport fleet, okay? Sometimes I do use it on warp if it's going from only 1 to MRZ20, but because it's only 2 warp distances. If I'm going to MRZ31, I always use subwarp because it takes way too much fuel. If I'm subwarping using this fleet, my transport fleets, it uses about $10 a day in warping fees just from fuel, okay? So it's really expensive to warp your stuff. And of course, I don't have $10 a day to spend on fuel because, you know, I'm mining titanium. I gotta go sell that titanium first, then I gotta go buy hydrogen to craft it into fuel. So that's my initial crafting. That's my initial one. And then I have a second, small fleet for transport. This is what I'm using to try and take some small stuff from MRZ20 back to only 1 so I can craft my max hogs. Very slowly but surely. I craft a max hog like maybe once every 3 days, which is still good return, I think. So that's my fleet at the moment. That's my entire portfolio, guys. No one hack me, okay? Tell me what I'm doing wrong because I want to be better. So right now, later on, my actual plan is to finish crafting all of my max hogs because I have nearly enough for another 10 max hogs. And then I'm going to have that as like my third second actually fleet because I'm going to integrate the R8 and the Arc into my mining fleets to make them even better. And yeah, that's my plan so far. So I'm going to stop there. Okay. I told you I'm going to be a bit more transparent. You can see my wallet on there. And now I'm just going to start, you know, telling you everything I'm doing. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. You know my crew, you know my fleets. You probably know my account already, but this is it so far. I'm mining titanium right here, which is pretty good. And I'm subwarping back with my transport fleets. And I have a whole bunch of stuff. I have nearly enough. Let me show you. Let's go to Calico Max Hogs. Yeah, Calico Max Hogs. I didn't need to craft that much. Let's say. So you see, I have enough. I have just barely enough for like 10 more Max Hogs. So I think I'm just going to buy this crystal lattice and do it. I'm gonna buy this copper because it's so cheap, right? And I'm mining this titanium right now. I can craft it. I have about 250 crafters at the moment. So yeah, I think my fleet is pretty good. I just need to optimize, which is where I'm asking for your help, guys. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave you and love you as always. That's 30 minutes. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble about Star Atlas. I told you we'd talk about Star Atlas. And that's it for now. Bye.